What is going on, everybody?
It's just Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, we're
Texas.
not... Shut up. This is a Marvel podcast.
It's the Marvel Comic Corner.
This is...
Hey, it's the Comic Corner.
Pound and Slash Marvel Media podcast. This is the Comic Corner edition.
I am Pounds.
I am Slash.
You make penis. That's it.
You make PNS.
PNS. Is that penis? He's a PNS.
Super, actually, so I actually thoroughly enjoyed pretty much every comic this week except for...
Like two?
Well, there were two of them that weren't that great.
I'll say it's just two, right? Yeah. Because the Watcher ones were good when we get to, but yeah, I think the Watcher ones were okay, but the rest of them were, yeah.
But...
He get his MVP this time around. So.
I get to pick MVP, and there's going to be something new that we have never done on any of these, at least not visually. It's something new I added to the visual thing.
Oh, cool.
It'll be the first time you've seen it as well. So with that being said, let's get the visual aid pulled up here.
Look into the viewing globe, Rangers.
Really?
I had to, bro. Look into the viewing, Rangers.
So as you can see, last week, Ralph picked Captain America. His team's at least a little bit better now. He's got Cap, Mr. Hyde.
Right, I'm not picking, well, besides that, I think I picked...
and Giant Man.
Giant Man, but then besides, like, just a random...
I'm over here with Spidey, Professor X.
At least you did pick some people you know, like,
Electra.
who the fuck is this character?
I'm super excited this week. I'm not as big a fan of the person that I'm replacing Professor X with as I am Professor X as a whole. He's definitely better right now, though, because Professor X is kind of a dick, and a skeevy one at that.
Yeah, he's, his issues have been great for him.
I love Jean Grey. Fucking creepy-ass old man.
Right, he said that. And why Stan Lee wrote that just to give it to the guy that like, inked that in, like, you want me to put this in here? Yeah, put all that. I love Jean Grey. What is happening?
He's like, whatever makes you happy, boss.
Whatever makes you happy, right. That's it. Whatever makes you happy, boss. Don't fire me. I'm only worth a quarter. Right. Please.
This must be what it feels like to be the dude in last week's Spider-Man episode where he's like, I don't believe we should write that story, but you're the boss and you pay the bills, and I don't want to lose my job, so let's go ahead and do this.
That's it. The one was J. Jonah Jameson in the last fight. I only wish to do it, but fuck it. Yeah. Like, I did my ramen noodle night.
Before we get into this, we got to do the normal thing. Marvel Trivia Question of the Week. Dr. Michael Morbius transforms into what kind of supernatural creature? Is it A, vampire, B, werewolf, or C, zombie? You should know this, but if you don't,
nah, fuck it.
Hang out with us.
I know what I'm gonna say.
We will find out later on this episode.
If you better not ask me that. I'm gonna be the one that's going.
It's a spider.
Yep, I'm gonna get something that's way off.
All right, so we're starting off with Tales of Suspense number 50. This is called The Hands of the... Well, the A story is The Hands of the Mandarin. The C story is called Journey's End. This was published February 10th, 1964, written by Stan Lee. Story A was penciled and inked by Don Heck. Story C was penciled by Larry Lieber and inked by S. Brodsky. It's the first time we've seen S. Brodsky's name.
Yeah, I've never seen that name since we've been talking. Yeah. Okay, cool. And I like this, the comic, too, by the Mandarin, because that's actually what Mandarin's supposed to do. Flashy lights, look at the fingers. Kiss the fingers, bitch. Kiss them.
Nice.
Yeah, he was, actually.
So the people we're going to see in story A... Oh, shit, I didn't realize. I don't think I ever deleted the picture behind the Mandarin.
Well, what was... Yo,
did you see that?
Yeah, I think I saw it.
It was the old picture from whatever it was last week.
And it just went... Shoop.
So the people you'll see in this issue are Iron Man, also known as Anthony Stark.
Where the hell is Happy Hogan? I mean, he's right there.
Right there.
I thought you was going to at least put, like, a picture of Happy Hogan.
There was no close-ups of him.
There was no close-ups of him? Damn. All right, well, shit.
And this is actually... So the next time we see this will be the first time I haven't put them in the same pane, because usually they have them side by side in one pane.
Side by side.
And I always use that. The next issue that we do for Iron Man does not. So I had to use this. Or I had to use two separate pictures there. But anyways...
Right. Oh, wow.
The Mandarin, and then Pepper Potts and Happy Hogan. Mandarin does not look anything like we know of him to look like in the comics.
Not even Iron Man 3.
From what we've seen.
Right, from what we've seen so
He looks
far.
completely different here.
In fact, I think this is Iron Man 3 if Iron Man really donned the full, complete... Hey, just give me the helmet, too. You know he's an actor, so he probably would put it on his head, too.
Right.
And bzzz.
All right, so we start with the Mandarin being joined by Red China Army members, and he ends up kicking them out because they ask for his help, and he's like, fuck off.
Right.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Army asks Iron Man to get information on the Mandarin. Iron Man agrees. Tony then tells his people that he will be unable to join the employee dinner. Happy punches a guy that gets mad at Tony, that gets mad at Tony, and then Tony scolds him because he's like, we're not just gonna run off and start punching coworkers.
And I'm like, hey, I'm all in. Happy would have been my MVP just for that alone. He's punching people.
Right.
Bow, bow.
And while this is happening, Pepper's getting all pissy because no one notices that she's had a makeover.
We don't give a fuck.
She no longer has freckles.
We don't give a fuck about that. I want to see Happy Hogan punch people. I'm sorry. That's fucked up.
Iron Man then later gets dropped off in China near Mandarin's castle.
Of course.
Iron Man nears the castle when he's attacked by guards that he makes extremely short work of. He also notices his power draining, so he has to make this visit quick. He heads towards the castle and is captured and then dumped into a room where the walls are closing in on him. He gets out and proceeds to fight Mandarin. Mandarin hits him with a paralyzing ray. When Iron Man does come to, though, the fight continues. Iron Man dodges Mandarin's karate chops and then does a quick calculation on his arm calculator. When Mandarin strikes, Tony turns and blocks at the right moment, and Mandarin passes out because of the immense amount of pain that he's in.
Oh, yeah, it's pain.
Meanwhile, Pepper asks Happy to join her at dinner since Tony isn't going to make it. Tony then flees the castle. Later, Happy and Pepper are at the dinner, and Happy is thrilled about Pepper being there with him.
Right.
Tony then shows up, and
then he's like, "Fuck, you cock blocked me."
And then Pepper's excited until Happy makes it sound like that they are dating.
Right.
Tony looks concerned because he's thinking about the Mandarin.
However, he don't even care about this shit.
However, Happy thinks he looks concerned because he's with Pepper and he thinks it displeases his boss.
Wait a minute, Happy, you should. Does he knows he's Iron Man, right? Like you. Oh, that's right.
Not yet.
They don't know. Not yet. I forgot.
They don't know who he really is.
Because I'm like. He's looking at my girl. I'm thinking about the Mandarin trying to zap up Chinese people right now. Like, I don't care. Like, what the fuck?
I gave this issue a 4 out of 5.
I gave it 4. It was cool.
I actually had a lot of fun with it. I am loving this weird dynamic with Happy and Pepper,
bro,
and Tony, because Tony legit does not give a fuck about either of them in terms of what they do with their personal lives. He's like, you come to work, you work for me every day, you go home, you stay loyal. That's all that matters. Have fun.
That's literally it. Like,
he's
this shit.
He's not looking to date Pepper or Happy for that matter.
Which is weird because this is you. Because since we saw in that they usually like have a little connection there, but this one it's like straight business. Like she's happy to see him.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
The birds. I like how the camera can see his head literally. Shut the fuck up, birds. No, but
yeah, it's a good issue.
But I like the little dynamic that they all have here. It's interesting. Yeah.
So on to the C story. We get the Watcher, Sally, and Wilbur Weems.
Yeah, huh? Which I don't know who that is.
No, he's a one-off character.
Yeah, I know he's one like Jeb. Fucking Jeb, goddamn, Jeb ain't leaving my fucking mind, bro.
All right, so it's time for a Watcher story. We get Wilbur Weems, who is being hit on by Sally. He says that he has work to do, and we find out that really she's with a group of teens that are just playing a joke on him. Nobody actually likes this kid.
And that's so sad. That piece of shit.
Right?
That's right. Exactly. That piece of shit.
That was me, by the way, in high school. I was that kid.
We're not doing this today, Nick.
Yeah,
look at the camera and he said, that was me, by the way. Like, we're not doing this today, Nick.
The Space Force sees that they need to send someone to a radiation cloud, but they 100% know it'll be a suicide mission because there will not be enough gas to get there and back.
Right.
Everyone declines doing it. Wilbur steps up because he's like, you know what? Nobody really likes me anyway.
I'm dead anyway. Fuck it.
My life's going to suck. Might as well.
This is Nick 100%. And Nick will be like, I'll go, what? Don't even care.
On the flight, he gets out there, and it turns out it was just a radioactive dust cloud that dissipates once he gets there. And it has now, although, made Wilbur stronger. He is now a handsome, strapping, strong man. Looking like Hercules and
looking
shit.
like this is some Twilight Zone shit. What is this?
Wilbur lands on a perfect Earth-like planet that looks Roman in nature.
Right.
They tell Wilbur it was a test, and only the bravest of Earthlings who aren't afraid to die can be here, which is what he's there for. So he has found the perfect place to live. Now, as far as Watcher stories go,
this was good.
I enjoyed this one.
I gave this a 5 out of 5. I know you didn't.
I gave it a 3.
Yeah, I gave it 5 out of 5. It's not bad. I like it.
For a Watcher story, it's good.
This is probably the only one I think I like out of this. This was interesting because, I get it. It's a telling story, but it's interesting though because, at the end he found peace actually.
Yeah, he found people that accepted him for who he was. Who he became, at least.
Right, bro. He became a buff chat motherfucker.
He is now going to get all the women.
All the hoes.
All the grapes fed into his mouth.
And then he going to get some of that kitten. Get that kitty. He going to bat that kitty. He going to get that kitty.
All right. Shut the fuck up! Fucking birds.
You know, you spit this cranberry juice out.
Dude, I don't know what their problem is. You got food. Eat. Shut up.
That's because they tip all that shit over in the kitchen. Anyway.
Next up is Tales to Astonish, number 52. A story is called The Black Knight Strikes. B story is called Not What They Seem. This was published February 1st, 1964, written by Stan Lee, penciled. The A story is penciled and inked by Dick Ayers. And then the C story is penciled by Larry Lieber and inked by G. Bell.
Right.
All right.
So we know these people.
Right.
Right.
We're used to all these guys.
Yeah, right. We're used to all these guys.
All right, so the Black Knight Strikes. We start with Giant Man defeating some goons and apprehending a guy by the name of... Oh, shit.
I was got wait.
There we go.
Characters are.
The people in this issue, Giant Man and Wasp, and then Professor Garrett, who's also the Black Knight. All right, so we start with Giant Man defeating some goons and apprehending Professor Garrett, who was giving secrets to the Reds.
They're like doing a lot of communist shit in here too, bro. God dang.
Yeah, it was the time. Garrett makes bail and uses a fake passport to fly to Europe. There, he makes a flying horse by combining like a chicken with a horse or some shit like that.
That was some weird shit.
Weird.
He should have went to jail for that.
Yeah, stop genetically altering animals, you fucking weirdo.
Right? What the fuck, man?
Weeks later, Wasp shows up late to the lab and says that Black Knight flying a winged horse stole money from an armored car. Giant Man thinks she's full of shit because she tells stories.
I was gonna say, and then Henry backhands.
When on the radio, there is a news broadcast talking about a guy on a winged horse robbing an armored truck. Giant Man and Wasp are on the way. Black Knight is at the time sabotaging a helicopter when Giant Man jumps from a plane and grabs the helicopter. Knight uses his lance to shoot a bolo and ties Giant Man completely up while he's hanging from one of the bottom rudder, whatever the fucking runners those things are called.
Right.
Black Knight then reveals who he is and tells Giant Man that he's been designing this lance to hold flamethrowers, machine gun rounds, among other things, in hopes that one day he will get a chance to fight Giant Man again. He then shoots Giant Man with itching powder. Giant Man has to let go because it itches too much.
Damn straight.
But when he does, that means he's got a free hand.
Right.
He ends up eating a shrinking capsule to free himself, and the Wasp catches him in midair.
Right.
They land on the Black Knight's horse, and Ant-Man grows to normal size. The horse starts to buckle underneath the weight. He jumps off to save Janet and lands in an amusement park. Janet then stings the horse, and it drops Black Knight into the exact same amusement park.
Hey.
Janet then starts to fall, and Giant Man has to stop pursuit to catch her. He does, and they land as Henry is wondering where he went. He heard a gun click and then shrunk to avoid the paralysis blast. Black Knight then falls off of a roller coaster rail but is caught by his horse, and they fly off with the Black Knight doing the classic evil villain thing. I'll get you one day, Ant-Man giant guy.
I just like to say, how the hell, bro, that was perfectly timed because he fell and the horse literally caught it. I got you. I'm like, bro, he could have fell to his death, actually. Like, boom. That's it. GG.
I gave this a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, this one is a 3 out of 5.
This version of Black Knight sucks.
He was...
Just plain and simple. This version of Black Knight sucks. He's boring. He's just a villain who created some shit.
And you know what's bad? He almost could... I mean, I know we see him again, but he really potentially could be a one-off villain, actually, because he's literally...
He's a nobody.
He's a nobody. Right? He's nothing. There's no character... Like, you see Doom and Namor... And even the Wizard and Puppet and PvP, all of them. But him, he's nobody. Like, good lord.
Right.
They brought him back for more shit. Okay, I mean, that's fine, I guess.
So in the B story, we're going to see Wasp, and they don't even have names. They're just called prisoners.
Here we go.
So this is Wasp telling a story to orphan kids.
Again.
Last time it was GI people.
Yeah, I thought it was orphan kids.
No, this time it's orphan kids. In the year 3000, some prisoners escape prison. They find a planet where men and women are fighting each other. They decide to hide out there and help the men. After the men win, the escapees ask for help, and then it is revealed that the men like to capture space people and put them in jail, and that's what the women were fighting against. So, after the fight is over, they are imprisoned for the rest of their lives. End of story. This was so dumb.
1 out of 5.
So unnecessary.
1 out of 5.
It would get a 0 out of 5 if it wasn't for that fact I have to at least put 1 star on this dumbass story.
You know what's funny? When he has said that a couple times too. Some shitty, like some Stranger Tales shit. He said, I wish I could put 0 out of 5, but because I can't give it, I give it 1 out of 5. Because yeah, this is ass. I'll say this is 0 out of 5. What is this?
It was wretched.
Like, what do we... What, and you can just... It goes back to what you said. Hey, you're the boss. You want to start? What do you want to talk about now? And we're gonna talk about some prisoners. Walt's gonna tell a story, write it, or you're fired. No ramen noodles. Like, hey, I don't want to get fired, so I'm gonna go ahead and just do this because he's Stan Lee. I'm not gonna question it. Like, this is ass, bro. And that's it.
Next up is Tales of Suspense number 51. A story is called The Sinister Scarecrow. C story is called Primitive. This was published March 10th, 1964, written by Stan Lee. Story A is penciled and inked by Don Heck. C story is penciled by Larry Lieber and inked by G. Bell.
Yes, sir.
All right. We begin with The Sinister Scarecrow. We begin with Iron Man stopping a mugger who runs into a theater and is stopped by a showman named Umberto. Iron Man thanks him and he's happy that he's on the right side of the law. Umberto then decides he would actually... Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't push the button.
I got you.
These are the people we're going to see. Iron Man, Happy Hogan, Pepper Potts, Umberto, Scarecrow. Umberto decides he would make a great villain, steals a Scarecrow costume from the store, and some trained crows from an old retiring workmate. Pepper then sends off for one of Tony's hussies by lying to her.
Hey, that's really it, too. Hey, get one of my hussies. Damn, all right, you're the boss.
Happy drives Tony to his apartment. They surprise Scarecrow, who's actually in the process of robbing the place.
Yep.
Happy attacks him and is actually knocked out pretty quickly, but it stalls Scarecrow just long enough for Tony to turn into Iron Man.
Right.
The crows fly out the window, and Iron Man thinks that that's where the Scarecrow headed, so he jumps out, and during the pursuit, Scarecrow comes out of hiding, steals more of Tony's plans, and flees as Happy wakes up. Later, Scarecrow calls to make Tony pay for the plans back. Tony puts a magnet in the briefcase and goes to the spot where the Scarecrow is supposed to meet him. Scarecrow runs off with the briefcase. Tony turns into Iron Man and follows him out to a boat near Cuba. He magnetically draws the suitcase back to him and dispatches of the ship and leaves everyone in the water. The crows have dragged Scarecrow to the Cuban coast. Iron Man doesn't follow because his suit is actually low on power. Later, Tony makes it seem like he's going to take Pepper to a Broadway play, which she gets excited over, but then he happens to just give the tickets to her and Happy instead, so that they can go together.
Once again, business. Bye. I gotta go.
She's bummed. Happy is thrilled. Meanwhile, Scarecrow broods on the coast. I'm going to get him back.
Once again, it's two villains again that are like, I'm going to get you back. But unfortunately, the Scarecrow come back. Yeah, he does, of course.
I actually get his 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it.
I get it 3 out of 5. I just want to say, I do like how, besides Spider-Man and Iron Man, these are the only two that actually say we turn into our characters because, Hulk shapeshifts, Don does the tap, and then the Fantastic Four. They're just their own little they're the spotlight. I like that. So, but anyway, that's just one of my, I like that. That's a positive line.
Story C, which is called Primitive. This is another Watcher story, and we get to meet Vince and Paul Harding.
Hello. Vince and Paul Harding.
The Watcher tells us a story.
Again.
Vince Harding was a car salesman in the future, making lots of money. His brother Paul is a space explorer looking for intelligent life, but planet after planet, they only find cavemen-like beings. On a stop back home, Paul is urged to join his brother to be rich, but he's like, I can't. I really need to keep exploring space.
Right.
The space exploration team can only afford one more trip, and they head out. On the last planet they visit, a native offers him a piece of wood. He says no because he's like, the fuck are they going to give me wood for? Like, we have wood. And they return home. Mad that they seem to be the only intelligent life in the galaxy, he does finally join up with his brother to start making money. However, we then come to find out that the piece of wood states that was going to be given to him states that someone created an antimatter bomb, which has convinced everyone on the planet to stop fighting. So there was intelligent life on this planet, but instead of being grateful for the offering that he was given, he, at that point, found out that, it doesn't even...
It's just wood.
He
didn't care. I'm gonna be blunt. He just didn't give a shit.
And neither did I. 1 out of 5.
Yeah, that's 1 out of 5.
Now, this one I would have legit given a 1 out of 5, not a 0 out of 5. But,
It wasn't like the first Watcher one, which I liked. But this one was just, I didn't care.
Right.
All right, keep moving, sir. Let's go.
All right.
You can tell he had. I mean, I get it. We got some good ones, but overall, when you start doing storytelling, it's like, oh dear, this is not true to none of the story.
Tales to Astonish, number 53.
Yeah.
A story is called Trapped by the Porcupine.
Yeah, he's
B
back.
story is When Wakes the Colossus.
The Porcupine is back, man.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
This was published March 1st, 1964, written by Stan Lee. A story was penciled and inked by Dick Ayers. And then B story is penciled by Larry Lieber and inked
Wasn't
by
the
Don
Porcupine in Tales of Stranger Tales?
No.
I thought he was like in another. I'm trying to think. When did we? Cause
we last saw him when it was Ant-Man and Wasp.
Okay, so it's not, I thought I know this is our second encounter with
because
this dude.
they jumped on liquid cement and filled up his suit holes.
Right.
And
right. Okay.
he,
Right.
like jetpack skirted off.
Yeah, because that's why I almost gave it like a 2 out of 5. Cause I'm like, this is. Come on, y'all gotta get that. And you Giant Man, you just gotta grab that motherfucker.
And then the people we're gonna see in this are Giant Man and Wasp and the Porcupine.
Of course.
All right, so we begin with Giant Man and Wasp performing for a crowd when from the shadows Porcupine shoots Giant Man, stunning him, and Giant Man falls and fractures his ankle. Porcupine remembers how Ant-Man and Wasp stopped him last time by filling his quills
I
with
like the
liquid
continuity
semen.
of that. That's tight.
He then decides to join a fan club where they all dress up as villains and will visit Giant Man when he recovers. Porcupine sends Wasp to his car for a gift that he says that he has for Giant Man, which really is just a trap to catch her.
Right.
And as everyone takes off their masks, he hits the room with sleeping gas. Everyone falls asleep except for Giant Man, who ends up spinning his body on a hanging ring fast enough to clear the air. And then he catches Porcupine. Porcupine gets free, uses his pine shooters to pine swing to the car. And I was calling it that to kind of say it was like a Spider-Man web shooter thing.
Right, like a Spider-Man web shooter. That's literally what it was. It looked. I said, is that his web? He's a web now. He's okay. We got tips from the Spider-Man. That's what's up.
As he drives off, Giant Man can't catch up because of his ankle.
Right, he's still hurt, bro. What?
He tries to make the ants follow, but Porcupine's car shoots off DDT, keeping the ants from being able to send back messages. Saying, he's like, I'm just gonna murder your ants. Fuck you.
That's exactly what he.
Porcupine puts Wasp in a cell that he knows that she can escape from, but when she does escape, he's going to send a needle that tracks her back to Giant Man's hideout.
For a minute, I thought he was just gonna send a needle to kill her. I was like, oh, okay.
She does escape, and the needle does in fact follow her.
Oh yeah.
Giant Man notices once she arrives back that the needle's been following her. He smashes the needle, but it's too late. The ants tell him that Porcupine is on the way.
He coming, bro.
Porcupine breaks in and wraps Wasp in flypaper, then tries to put Giant Man asleep again, and again it does not work. Giant Man is just too big for a basic sleeping gas dose.
You know, I noticed he's not been Ant-Man at all since he's been Giant Man for the past couple issues.
He switches back to being small sometimes.
Oh, sometimes. Okay, sometimes like he's just Giant Man. Which I mean, that's cool. I'll dig it, but you know.
As a matter of fact, Giant Man shrinks in this one.
That's right,
to go find where Porcupine is hiding.
Right, because he got out. He said, I'm leaving.
And Porcupine ends up taking... he changes back to Giant Man when he finds him, picks him up, holds him, at which point Porcupine gets some of the pills from Giant Man's belt. Giant Man tries to stop him from taking them, but Porcupine is like, nope, I'm going to grow 6 times the size you are by eating all of these pills. And he downs them all.
Of course.
But instead of growing, he starts to shrink and shrink and shrink until he disappears completely. At which point, Ant-Man frees Wasp, and until next time, heroes.
I mean, you did it to yourself, partner. I'm just going to go ahead.
Right.
Like, well, he's gone. I'm going to go ahead and go save my girl. Like, he's gone.
I also gave this story a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5, yeah.
It was a decent story.
It was okay.
And I love when a villain does something dumb enough that it fucks himself over.
Right. You don't see that too often with the comics we've been reading so far. Like, he said, I'm going to drink it. He thought he was going to grow, but, like, because the red makes him grow, don't it? I know he hasn't got to the red part.
I don't remember which ones do
I
what.
thought red makes him grow, because I thought blue meant, like, shrinking it, but I was like, well.
Oh, you're thinking to the shows.
Yeah, I'm thinking to the show. My bad. No, he hasn't got, my bad. Okay. Because he's just like, I'm shrinking. Like, yeah, no shit. You took the wrong shit.
He's like, I tried to tell you, dumbass.
And then I like how casual he's like, well, I'm going to go get my girl because I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck.
Now he's so small he gets to watch a Giant Man and Wasp get it on. Let's get it on.
He need to go talk to Henry in the Fantastic Four. Maybe get the particles working. Talk to Reed. Go find Reed, bro.
Right. Next up is story B, which is Henry Pym. You'll see Henry Pym and the Wasp and a character by the name of Mingo. Now, this is a story from Wasp, but instead of telling the story to other people, she is actually going to tell the story to Henry. as a preview before she goes to tell it to the GIs that she's going to go talk to. Now, on another planet, a warlord by the name of Mingo takes over several areas by using their superstitions against them. He then builds the statues and warns everyone that if anyone ever tries to revolt or doesn't do what he wants, the giant statue will come alive and destroy them. And they believe it.
Right.
So they follow everything that he wants them to do, but eventually the people get tired of his tyranny and revolt anyways, because they're like, there's no point in living like this.
Right, you're living in a tyranny.
And when they do revolt, the statue actually does come alive. However, it destroys Mingo's castle instead, and now Mingo travels around like a lunatic, muttering to himself. And this is the only reason I really liked this issue, was Jan, after telling the story, gets mad because Henry was not paying attention at all.
That's a 5 out of 5 on site.
I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Oh no, that's a 5 out of 5 for me. Oh yeah.
But she's like, you're such a jerk. You never listen to me.
Huh? That's what he said. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, bitch. You know what? Hey, I feel like they just want to give, because let's be honest, Woz hasn't had that much airtime, man. They gotta give her something to do, bro. Like look at the last one. Giant Man saves. The last is Giant. You don't hear Woz. I mean, Woz does do shit, but it's not enough. So they're like, well, let's just give her own shit to do. So
she can go around telling stories.
So yeah. Again, Hank said, huh? Bitch, I'm trying to make particles.
I got shit to do.
I got shit to do.
All right, next up.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no, I'm dead ass. That's a 5 out of 5 story. Just for that right there. That's
The Amazing Spider-Man number 11, and this is called Turning
Point.
Point.
One of your books that I remember reading. Yeah.
This was published April 10th, 1964, written by Stan Lee, penciled and inked by Steve Ditko.
That's in one of your books, too.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And in this one, we are going to see Spider-Man, Dr. Octopus, Aunt May, a gangster by the name of Blackie Gaxton, Betty Brant, and her brother Bennett Brant.
Yep. They're back.
And we start with Peter. Sad because he can't find Betty, but Peter also hears that Doc Ock will be released from prison.
Yep.
He goes and pleads to the warden to not let him go, but the warden denies, saying he served his time. Peter rushes home and makes a spider tracker. He returns just in time to see that Betty is driving the cab that Doc Ock gets into, so he throws a tracker onto it. As they drive off, he sees that there is a map of Philadelphia, and the car had a Philadelphia license plate, so he knows roughly where they're going.
Right.
We then see Blackie Gaxton, a mobster, in jail
Jesus
with
Christ.
Bennett Brant, who is Betty's brother.
Right.
And Bennett is Blackie's lawyer, and also ower of money.
Of course.
He owes Blackie money.
Of course he's that type of gangster. Of course.
Blackie dismisses him. Bennett arrives later at the safe house in time to see Betty Brant basically resisting Doc Ock trying to come on to her.
Because you remember Betty was like left town.
Right. Bennett steps in, gets bitch slapped, and told to meet Doc in the other room.
Straight up.
Betty has a moment where she feels bad for not telling Peter. However, at this time, Peter is telling his aunt that he's going to go on vacation and go visit the city of brotherly love. He gets to Philly and then finds Betty, who is actually thrilled to see him. Mm-hmm. She tells him everything.
Right.
Later, Doc breaks Blackie out of jail. Spidey is late to the prison and kind of gets blamed for... sorry, I got a random email. He kind of gets blamed for the breakout. Not exactly, like they're not saying for sure it's Spidey, but they're like, maybe he's the one that did it.
Right, that they're speculating. They're like, he was the only one here.
Right. Blackie's goons take Betty and Bennett onto a ship where Doc and Blackie show up. Spidey arrives and sprains his ankle on a stack of ropes. When he lands, Blackie then knocks out Bennett. Spidey is captured. Once inside, Spidey beats the hell out of everyone.
Oh, yeah. Everything this work.
He gets into a physical struggle with Blackie, who has a gun and accidentally shoots Bennett. It was an accidental shooting, but at the same time, I don't think Blackie cared.
Hey, let me tell you something, bro. Blackie would have been my MVP. That right there. Oh, you so... Bro. Hey. First of all, that fucking name.
Right.
Blackie. Oh, no. Blake. I'm sorry. He got the heater. Gotcha, bitch.
Betty blames Spider-Man for all of this, and now Spider-Man is pissed.
Man, bleed out, Betty. I got shit to do.
Spidey chases down Blackie to the point where he's actually hurt ankle and all. dragging people that are hanging on to him until he gets close enough to knock Blackie the fuck out.
Yeah, he got knocked about because he shot her. Like you said, Axe bit my ass. He didn't give a shit. Bang. He's a gangster. That's literally what he is.
Right. Doc Ock then attacks Spidey.
Oh yeah.
They go back and forth for a while until Spidey hits him with a fire extinguisher to blind him. We later see some goons try to steal the money and Betty. But Doc Ock knocks them out and takes the money and Betty for himself.
Right, because he's still a criminal. He's still a villain, like the biggest villain. What?
Spidey then attacks and floors Doc, who jumps off the boat onto a little boat, which is called a launch.
Right.
Spidey follows, and they fight until the boat runs into a large beam in the water. Spidey swims to get away. The cops show up, arrest Blackie and his goons. Doc Ock does manage to get away, but Betty's safe. Peter then returns home to console Betty during the funeral. She tells him that she was wrong to blame Spider-Man, but she also doesn't ever want to see Spider-Man again because of how everything happened. I gave this a 5 out of 5. It was a fantastic issue.
5.
A good return for Doc Ock, and while he is technically like the main villain, he wasn't the focal point.
Right, he wasn't the main focus. They gave it to Blackie.
There was a lot going on. We got to watch Bennett die.
Yeah! That was crazy! Yo!
I don't know what's wrong with him either, guys.
Yeah, no, that's me overacting.
But yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Oh shit! Hey, yo, no, it just threw me off though, because I was like, a funeral? Hold up. Hey, he died, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, Blackie, you fucked up, bro. You know you fucked up, right? Anyway, let's go a bit without fear.
All right.
Let's go.
Next up.
This is probably I think this is the best comic I like, though. I liked it.
Next up is called Daredevil, the man without... Actually, it says here comes Daredevil, the man without fear.
Right. Here comes...
This is issue number 1 of Daredevil. It's called The Origin of Daredevil. This was published March 1st, 1964, written by Stan Lee, penciled and inked by Bill Everett.
Bill Everett has came on a few times.
I actually think this is Bill Everett's first
time. Oh, okay.
So people you are going to see in this issue... You are going to see Matt Murdock, also known as Daredevil, Karen Page and Foggy Nelson, battling Jack Murdock, which is Matt's dad.
Yep.
The Fixer, and a guy by the name of Slade.
Oh, they got the dude from Teen Titans in here. That's
right. All right. So we start off with some mobsters / boxers playing poker when Daredevil shows up, looking for the Fixer. They start a fight, and Daredevil basically just whoops their ass.
Yeah, no, Daredevil's so OP as fuck, bro. Please don't try to test him on hand-to-hand combat.
Right.
Don't do that. And he's blind while he's doing it, which is really scary.
Daredevil says that now that they are done, he's just going to wait for the Fixer.
Yeah.
And now it's time for the backstory for this new character.
Right, because, bro, I like the opening scene. I'm like, yo, this is how I open to a movie.
Right?
Okay.
We start off with some... I already read that part. Matt Murdock, son of Battling Murdock, is told by his dad to never be a fighter. Just grow up, study, and one day he'll thank him.
Right.
As time goes on and Matt gets older, Matt wishes he could play sports, but it's not allowed. He also starts to get bullied and is called Daredevil by the other kids, which, by the way, I'd never heard Daredevil as like a diss towards anyone.
Right.
I don't know.
It was like, you're a daredevil. You suck. Like, wait. How is that a bad thing?
Right. So is Evil Knievel, and he's widely known.
Right. So I was going to say, Evil Knievel, yeah.
While his dad is away, he starts self-training.
Right. Was that something I never seen before? Like, we never caught that. Usually he's never done it. He self-trains himself. Okay, I like that.
So later, when Battling Murdock gets back home, he realizes that he can't find a promoter that's willing to take him. So he sets up with a guy by the name of the Fixer, which is somebody he would never normally work with. He knows he's shady.
Right. Slade, shady.
But he needs money. He's got a kid to feed.
Yep.
While going home to celebrate with his son, Matt is out walking home on his own, where he sees a blind guy trying to cross the road. The blind guy doesn't hear or see the car that's about to hit him, so Matt's instincts kick in. He rushes in and saves the dude from being hit, but in the process, he gets clipped by the truck, and a cylinder holding something on it falls off of the truck and dumps onto Matt's face. That is radioactive.
Which that's interesting. They got that right from the not only Netflix but even the one with Ben Affleck. They got that part correct on like how he got blind.
Right.
Because some weird acid shit fell on him and that's what he couldn't see no more.
Matt finds out, though, that now that he is blind, it seems every other sense is insanely heightened.
Which, that's interesting. So,
which is actually a thing that actually happens with people.
Oh, there's other shit.
So,
okay.
Now, not to his extent.
Right, not to that extent, because he's able to catch everything.
Which I'm pretty sure the radioactive stuff that fell on his face probably plays a little bit into that.
Right, because everything's right. It's
but,
like, all of it, like, okay.
But they do say that, like, if you lose your sight, all your other senses heighten to try and make up for losing your sight. So forth and so on. Now, Matt does eventually go on to college, and that's where he first meets his new roommate, Foggy Nelson.
Hey.
And they become best friends.
Of course.
Battling Murdoch had been winning, but didn't know that the opponents he was fighting were being paid to throw their fights.
Keyword the fixer. They were being fixed.
Right. They asked Battling Murdoch to throw the next fight, which he agrees.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, okay. I forgot. Yeah, he agrees. All right.
But both Matt and Foggy are going to the fight. During the fight, Battling Murdoch wants to make his son proud. Yeah. So he goes ahead and knocks the other guy out. Yeah. And then after his son tells him that he's proud, Battling Murdoch goes to walk home and is shot and killed.
Yep. I mean, we knew that.
We knew it was going to happen.
Right. As I said, yep. As soon as
we're familiar with the backstory.
Right. Ain't that a bitch? We're familiar with the backstory of Daredevil, just like Spider-Man. He's like, hey, just give all the money to this account. Yo, you about to die, bro. Like, you try to go get, like, mobsters, bro.
Right.
What is this?
Matt then, over time, eventually graduates college, and him and Foggy start up their own law office as partners.
I like that.
Foggy hires Karen Page, who is immediately attracted to Matt.
Of course.
He wants to find his dad's killer and makes a costume and calls himself the Daredevil.
Which, that is interesting, that he decided to just put on a costume like that. I mean, I thought, I don't know what I was thinking. This is 1960s, so let's go.
Right. He modifies his cane to work as a billy club, a cane that can be used to grab things and swing from things, and it's a nice cane.
You know what? They are really, okay, they took the real source material for real for this character. Holy shit, guys, that's what's up.
So now we get back to present day. Yep. The Fixer shows up. Daredevil blames him for Battling Murdoch's death.
Yeah,
And he sends his goons off to attack, and Daredevil beats the shit out of them.
Once again, whoop them better than convenience.
Eventually, one of Fixer's goons admit to it while pushing Daredevil out the window, because let's be real, this is his first time being a hero of sorts. He's gonna make some mistakes. He wasn't paying.
Spider-Man,
he wasn't paying full attention. He got pushed out the window for it.
Which I was like, oh, he was winning. I was like, wait, how you get out the window so fast? He was kicking their asses. Like, what happened?
Right. So Daredevil ends up using a flagpole to swing around, and then he flies right back into the window.
Right.
At which point,
acrobatic skills, bro.
Right. At which point they run. They're like, okay, there's something wrong with this.
Right. Because we know we dropped them. Somebody came back up to the top floor here. Oh, I'm leaving.
So, Daredevil ends up switching back into his Matt Murdock persona and follows the scent of Fixer's cigar through the crowds.
Right.
And when he realizes that they're about to go into a subway, he rushes in as a blind man into the subway.
I love it, bro. Hey, I love it.
Once inside, Matt changes back into Daredevil.
Course. That was cold as shit how he did that.
And then, as soon as they show up down there, he's like, didn't think you guys were going to get away, did you? And they were like, motherfucker.
Because he just went to, oh yeah, I'm blind. And then, got you, bitch. Yeah, y'all think y'all was ready? Y'all think I'm gonna whoop all your asses now? Y'all ain't leaving. Y'all ain't leaving the subway.
So he ends up knocking Slade down and chases after the Fixer. During the chase, Fixer ends up having a heart attack and dying.
Oh god, no, that's bad.
And Matt goes back with the cops and convinces Slade that Fixer actually gave him up when he didn't, so he lied to Slade.
Yeah.
And Slade was like, nah, he paid me to pull the trigger. At which point, the police take Slade and arrest him. He announces who he is to the police. He's like, I'm the Daredevil. You'll hear more from me.
That's it. Bingo.
And Matt returns back to his office, where Foggy basically tells him that a criminal by the name of Slade called to hire them, and he turned them down because he believes that Slade is guilty. And he actually asks Matt if Matt was mad. Matt's like, no. It's actually a great day. And he's like, Dad, wherever you are, hope you're proud. And that's how we end the very first issue of Daredevil. Bro. And I gave this motherfucker a 3.
You gave it a 3?
No, I gave it a 5.
I know you did.
It was fantastic.
Like, I know I was joking with the storytelling, but this one is a legit 5 out of 5 one. Like, this is a legit one. Because this, bro, There was not one thing bad about this story. And if it wasn't for me looking at from the 2003 and even the Netflix, this was actually right to the point. And it wasn't fucking Kingpin either. So here's interesting.
And here's what's really cool about this. We look at all the other people we're covering comics for right now. We've got the X-Men who are fighting other mutants.
Right.
We've got Iron Man who goes from fighting people like the Crimson Dynamo to the Scarecrow to people that do have more enhanced abilities and things like that.
Yeah, I've caught that.
More super villain type people.
Right.
And then we've got like the
even
Avengers
Spider-Man's starting to fight more.
The Avengers who are really only fighting people they've already fought, like Namor, Hulk,
and Loki.
And Loki. And then we run into Thor, who's kind of going back and forth with people from Asgard and other places.
And then back to the human world fight people. Yeah.
So everyone's fighting.
And then this is.
Everyone's fighting more super villainous people, except for two people.
Right.
Giant Man and Wasp seem to always end up fighting against just basic fucking people, which is kind of boring because they're superheroes. They need to be fighting super villains.
Right, like Fantastic Four fighting super villains.
Right, which has been my complaint so far with all of their comics. It's always somebody pretending to be a spy or whatever.
They work for the Reds and the Chinese or whatever.
And
right.
Yeah, so his stories tend to not bother me. However, Daredevil has always been a hero that fights more street level crime.
That was grounded as fuck.
He's gonna fight, like we'll eventually see him fight like ninjas and like the Hand,
right,
and shit like that in these comics. So it's never like he's never really involved against major super villains. He is made for that smaller crime thing. So I'm hoping what this will eventually do is now that they've got him to do this and do it in a way that tells a good story, maybe we'll finally start seeing Giant Man get into some battles that are worth a fucking damn.
Right.
I'm hoping. Probably not.
Like, now that we got this character, well, even Spider-Man, like, he fought some super, but now he dabbles it too. It's just like Spider-Man dabbles too. Like, when he was fighting that, then next week he's fighting the Enforcers, which is like, okay.
Which, and again, Daredevil is going to be one of those people that, like, he is going to fight supervillains, but they're going to be more his level of supervillains. You're going to see him fight against Elektra. You're going to see him fight against Bullseye.
Right.
Amongst other people that are supervillains.
Hell, he might even go against Kingpin in one of these little issues, but, you know.
Right.
Which I thought that's what he was going against. I said, oh, it's not Kingpin. Huh. When I was reading, I said, because you used to Kingpin. It's like, no, these are straight mobsters that did this. Like, oh, okay. I mean, it should be like that. It should be. So, yeah.
Which brings me to my MVP.
That is you, sir. Who is it? Daredevil. Of course.
He came in, and don't get me wrong, he made a couple mistakes during his fights, but over and above all, he
really did better than Spider-Man's first fight, actually.
He did what heroes are supposed to do. He came in and whooped their ass.
Yeah, bro. And what really got me, though, he went on that subway like a blind person, and they went in there like, yeah, bitches, y'all knew y'all were fucked, right? I would have been just talking mad shit, and that's y'all know y'all fucked, right? Yeah, I had what's good. I'm back, bitch. Like round 3, let's go.
So yeah, I had no complaints with this comic at all. And again, Daredevil, hands down my MVP. He came in, he did his thing. And what's funny is, dude, one of the things I love about Daredevil as a person, because we're going to see Spidey go through some trying times where he's going to want to give up being Spider-Man. We know it happens, and it's actually going to happen within the next 15 to 20 issues, where there's going to be a moment where he seriously thinks about quitting being Spider-Man.
Right, it's like, fuck it.
And it's because life gets rough and tough for him, and
he's just a kid too,
and he wants to give up. But Daredevil,
right,
as a kid, able to see, saves a guy's life, risks his life to do so, becomes blind because of an accident that happens, and he never gave up. He was the one that was like, you know what, Dad, I'm gonna be okay.
Right.
I'm still gonna get through school. Life is gonna be okay. We'll move on. I'm still gonna become a lawyer. I'm still gonna do the things that you've raised me to do, and the things that I really want to do.
And then the self-taught how to fight. I like that.
Right.
Damn.
He self-taught himself.
Right.
Which is a little bit different than the Netflix show, because the Netflix show had stick training.
Sticks trained him.
Which we don't know how much of that's still going to happen.
Because the next issue, whenever they get to the next issue, Sticks might just show up and, hey, the one blind man he saved might be Sticks that he didn't save his ass, like a young Sticks like when he was younger. So, yeah, we don't know how much is that going to happen. You're right.
But for all intents and purposes, for now,
right,
he never gave up. As a matter of fact, he used his disability as a reason to fight harder to be what he wanted to be.
And ain't that a bitch? Like, even the first issue of Spider-Man, he was going to give up.
Yeah.
That's some wildin' ass shit right there. Huh. But yeah, he did what he did, man. He kicked like 50 dudes' asses. It was, he was
right.
Like, and that's what he did in Netflix, though. He was trying to get the daughter, or I guess one of the people's daughter. He went there in that warehouse. He was throwing shit. He was hitting people. He was taking people out. Oh, shit. But, yeah.
All right, back to the Marvel trivia question of the week. Dr. Michael Morbius transforms into what kind of supernatural creature? Is it A, a vampire, B, a werewolf, C, a zombie?
I got you. I got the question. I got it. He turns into a fucking bunny, bro.
Yep. Becomes the Easter Bunny.
You like the Easter Bunny.
The answer is a vampire. If you didn't know that, I don't know why you're watching this podcast.
Damn, some people don't know.
Come on now. If they've not read the comics, not seen any of the animated shows or anything,
or even there's even a whole fucking stupid ass movie coming for this.
There
shit.
is a goddamn trailer out for a movie that comes out in a month and a half for this dumbass fucking movie character.
Yes, we spit off Grammy just to get stop doing that.
I like Morbius as a character. Do I think he deserves a movie?
Hell no. He's a Spider-Man villain. He's a Spider-Man. I mean, well, he's more towards Spider-Man, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, but he's...
And for the next slide...
Ooh, what you got? Yeah, you got something new for me.
Comics for next week.
Oh, sweet.
We are getting Amazing Spider-Man number 12, which is another Doc Ock fight where Doc Ock actually unmasks Spider-Man.
Third fight. Let's go.
The X-Men are going to be getting into it again with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Finally. Well, second.
And I don't know why they keep... Okay, so if you notice on the cover of this, they keep giving Wanda a green outfit on the cover, but she wears a red one in the comics. They did that last time, too.
Yeah.
We then get a Tales to Astonish where Ant-Man and Wasp fight somebody named El Toro, which nobody knows who the fuck that is.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck, but that's fine.
We then get a Tales of Suspense where Iron Man fights the Crimson Dynamo again, but this time we are also introducing Black Widow.
Black Widow, yep.
We then get another Tales to Astonish, which is going to be Giant Man refighting the Human Top, because everybody wanted that.
Right. Everyone wanted that.
And then we get a new Strange Tales, where the Human Torch teams up with the Iceman. I don't know why he's teaming up with the Iceman, but that is what he's doing. So we at least know Iceman doesn't die.
And I like how they show Spider-Man. It's like on the bottom, like your left hand corner or right hand corner. It's like, make sure you watch the issue, like the Amazing Spider-Man. Just give, or like no.
That's because I chose that frame. It's a frame.
Oh, you chose that frame. That's frame on the right hand, on the left. Right
yeah, if you actually look at the entire frame, Hulk's in the upper left hand corner. Oh. He doesn't show up here because I cut these frames up a little shorter. Okay. I just raised up the thing. But yeah, those are all the same frame.
Oh, that's cool. It's kind of like they were giving hints like, yo, we got Spider-Man shit.
Next week I probably will not have the frames on there because I feel like it's cutting out portions of the actual cover.
Oh. Really?
Yeah. But, yeah, that is next week, y'all.
That's our next week's comics. This is my MVP time next week, ladies and gentlemen.
He's like, it's going to be the Human Top.
What? No, you know where I'm going. You should know by now. You know we're going right to this motherfucker, and I'm gonna tell you, if they both lose, I swear to God, that's it, bro. They better. You know where the fuck I'm going. I already point. You know where I'm going. Fuck all these comics. We're going right to this one right here. My favorite one in the whole wide world is the Strange Tales. You know what game this is getting ready to be right now.
Strange Tales is like the best comic Marvel ever did. Shoot me.
They had an annual. Like there's like bro, when you said we read that annual, I said, wait a minute. There's an annual to this bullshit. I'm gonna fight you, Spider-Man. You're about to get this L, bro.
Right.
You're about to catch this L. Where's the other Brotherhood? I hope they bring that other Brotherhood that got bitch slapped in the last issue. What was he I don't even know his name.
I don't remember his name.
I don't remember his name.
But
he got his bring him back. He tried to. I wanna touch you, Scarlet. She back the slap the shit.
Magneto almost beat the fuck out of him.
Because he just wanted to holler at Scarlet Witch. He said, "I'm about to throw you into one of the metal spears, bro. Like, don't play with me right now." And why is he here? Of all the people,
right?
I would have brought him. I would have brought him in here.
All right, guys. So that is gonna do it. Again, next Tuesday or next Monday, we will be back with another episode where we get to talk about the Fantastic Four. And then next Thursday, we will cover the six issues we just said.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we love you guys. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you wonderful people next week.
Dab. Excelsior.
Excelsior.
I dabbed on it. Keep that.